first off, what's your background in running and how'd you get into coaching?
That's I'm pretty atypical. I have zero background in running. I only ran to get in shape for other sports.
Given the fact that you had no real running background at a young age, and now you're an integral part coaching-wise of probably the most righteous program in America, co-ed. That's quite a journey in a sense.
Yes, it is. A lot of hard work, a lot of mistakes, a lot of humility along the way. I mean, that's kind of like anything in life, if you're interested and you're passionate about it and willing to learn, that's kind of how I got to this point. And obviously with Doug, it's easy to work with him because he's, my passion on steroids, and he's a good guy. He's a good guy to work with.
So as far as your associate head coach, which we don't usually see that title in high school cross country, we see with the colleges, Dan Noble really mirrors what you're trying to accomplish. What does he bring to the table in your program?
I've been really blessed to have him with me from the beginning, and we've been able to plan a lot of this stuff out together. You can't surround yourself with yes men. You've got to have people that challenge you, and he challenges me in everything that we do. And there's been times, even as the head coach, where I say, this is the direction I want to go, this is what we're trying to do, and he says, no, that's not what we're going to do, it's the wrong way. And so we'll battle back and forth with each other to try to figure out exactly what the right thing is for the kids. He never wants to let me go down the wrong path. He always wants to make sure that we're focused on what our core beliefs are, that we're doing the right things. In 2011, he was in my ear saying, we're not focused, we're not doing the things that we need to do. And I kept telling him, well, the talent's going to take care of it. And sure enough, we got to state and took 7th because he was right. One of his biggest strengths is that he is good at identifying the weaknesses and filling in those gaps. So yeah, he would make an excellent head coach, but I think he understands that working together, we're able to create something special.
At first, he was kind of scared me. You kind of get that impression that he's very serious, and he is like that in practices. But again, I have built a very close relationship with Noble, and I think I have like a really personal relationship with my coaches, which is something that not everyone has, and it's something I'm really grateful for. So from that first day meeting him till now, I feel like I've met and talked to a very different person than the first day that I met him.
Yeah, I thought he was a nice one, to be honest. I thought he was a really nice one. Then getting into practice and stuff, he was always very strict with everything.
He really emphasizes the importance of doing all the little things to get better in running.
I think he really cares about the team, and he really cares for the individual as well, and he's really focused on doing the little things like core and drills to make sure that we do the best that we can.
I want it to be positive, but positive doesn't mean you have to be nice, all the time. Sometimes you need someone to challenge you in a way that you don't like. I don't mean putting them down kind of thing. I mean, hey, what are you doing? You're not doing this right.
So if you had to, how would you encapsulate your coaching philosophy?
It's a family, so I want it to be a positive experience. I like a lot of what the author John Gordon puts out. In his books, he talks about we focus too much on the fruit, instead of the root, where we're worried about score, championships and whatnot, instead of worrying about the root, meaning culture, family, relationship. You take care of that, and then everything else takes care of itself. You can have a bad crop one year, but how do you respond to that? You don't chop a tree down. You go back and you cultivate, you just nurture it. I would like kids to have a positive experience is really the bottom line. And you want every kid to be successful, but for me, it's more like, okay, how about a kid who's JV or frost off? How do I help them to enjoy the sport and feel like they're working hard towards something, but yet achieving goals and things they've never thought possible.
So I started running as a freshman in high school, carried that through, ran in college in Emporia State, Kansas, and ran for a few more years, but then transitioned to the coaching. I had told Sean when Fiona first started, just offered that I would be willing to help if he ever needed it. With Coach Moss retiring, he came last summer and kind of formally asked me would I be willing to help out. My most important role was helping the younger athletes see their potential, understand what hard work looked like, sometimes interpret Sean speak to them. He's used to the older athletes understanding things when he says them. The younger athletes sometimes were puzzled and they wouldn't always speak up. So I would just kind of mosey over and say, did you guys get that? Okay, here's what we're looking to do. And I really enjoy that. I like taking those kids that really haven't even thought much about the sport, much less figured it out, and helping them kind of progress in it.
Steve Hawkins, my other assistant coach, he's the exercise physiology professor at Cal Lutheran, and I like to, we talk science all the time, and we talk ideas. Yeah, I make the final decisions, but I'll go to him and say, hey, what do you think of this? He's great with injuries. He knows the body really well. He knows mechanics really well. So we talk about that stuff.
I went to college at Cal State San Bernardino and ran there. I ran cross for 4 years there and ran pretty well. I was All-American D2 school. And then I went out to Charlotte, North Carolina, and ran at Queen's University for Scott Simmons. That's where I really had some success in running. Completely switched my training. I mean, it was an eye-opener on how hard you could actually work and the success that it would bring. So out there is where I became the D2 10K national champ in 2009, 2010, both years, back to back.
So in high school or in college in your various locations, did you have the coaching bug? And if not, when did you first get it? How did it come about?
I didn't, I guess it kind of just fell into it because Sean started coaching, and as soon as he started coaching, I wanted to help out. I wanted to be a part of the team because I love running. I want to be around it. I think, for us, it works out really well too, because if I wasn't a part of this team, I'd never see him.
Is there ever a situation where there's like good cop, bad cop? One needs to crack the whip on the other one. How does that work out?
Sean's the bad cop. Sean's the mean one. He has to crack the whip all the time, and then I'm like, girls, it's okay. I know it sounds worse than it really is. Like, don't worry, he really means this. Like, he's not mad at you, he's just mad at the situation. But they respect it, and it gets them to listen and to focus, and it works.
Well, as a head coach, I mean, some people don't like it, some people do. I think you need to be one decision maker and one only. I think if you have, conflicting views, that you're in trouble. So we have 2 assistant coaches, one being my wife, Tanya. She does all the morning practices 3 days a week. She does all the supplemental training stuff. I think we wouldn't have been successful with the girls if I didn't have a female on staff. I just think it's important. There are certain things that girls have that are different than guys, problems in running that they need to talk to more comfortably, I think, a female. So that's Tanya's role. She works with the guys too and helps them, but I think that's her big role.
You mentioned the fact that you're the head coach, you're the final decision maker in practice, at meets. When you go home, who's the head coach?
No, I guess it depends who you talk to. Yeah, she might say her, I might say me, but I'll say her to be safe if she watches this.
Favorite post-race meal?
Probably a really big burger or anything not good for you.
Favorite training shoe?
Brooks Adrenaline.
Favorite racing shoe?
Cross country, the Nike XC5s, and track, the Nike Mamba 5s.